Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of the 88head.com video cast. This whole year we're going to be doing some special videos that celebrate my 20 years in doing comics. So one of the first things I want to do was show you my comics archive. This is a group of comics that I've published over the last 20 years. This isn't the complete list, but there's a lot of them. And all these are out of print. You can't get them anymore. You're probably never going to get them anymore. So if you're one of the lucky few out there that have one, good job. But I've got some of my first stuff I've ever done here, all the way to some of the latest stuff I've ever done. And I thought I'd show you guys. So let's check it out. This is actually the first comic I ever published anything in. It's called the Comic Amateur Press Alliance number 4, which was available on the campus of Central Michigan University. I got some ink spilled there. But if you look in here, I've got, there's a pinup I did of my character Darkness. Yeah, this is before the old Image Comics Darkness came out. Some friends of mine did some stuff in here. But here is my first published story. Not so good. You can definitely see that I was ripping off some, Todd McFarlane Spawn stuff there. We all got to start somewhere, don't we? Yep. Look at those boobs. Look at those boobs. God damn. Alright. Yep. Definite Spawn influence there. But, that's that. Good luck finding one of those. This here's, I think it's like a year or two later, I did a story in this one. There was actually 5 different Kappas that I was a part of, but, some of them I can't find, and they're not in there anymore, so. But you're never going to get them anyway. So there you go. I seen one pop up on eBay once. That's all you're going to get. Alright, that's in a Holiday Inn, okay? Look at that handwritten, handwritten dialogue boxes. Absolutely great. Here's some special stuff. This is actual scripts from Pleasant Life. It's called Pleasant Hymns back in the day. But the actual scripts, dialogue and everything, I've kept them all. Script 1, script 2, script 3, script 4. Sometimes I hand wrote them. Sometimes I typed them out. I don't do scripts much anymore. I usually write down the whole thing and write down some dialogue, and then I kind of do the dialogue as I'm doing the lettering. Kind of saves some time, but while I'm working on the scene, I pretty much think out what's going to happen in the scene and what people say, and then I write down dialogue in the margins. It just works for me. This is a story I never did publish. This is the Pleasant Life final story. Or did I publish this? I don't know. Nope, this is the last. This is for the last trade book. I did this one. That's right. This here is a copy of Darkness number 1. I published and printed this myself. I ran the offset press, took the photos, drew the whole damn thing, ran the press. Stapled it, everything. All myself. This here's the worst comic book page I ever drew. I know that's arguable, but that's what I'm calling it. Yeah. Pretty bad, but you gotta start somewhere, don't you? Here's Darkness number 2. Did the same way, same place, printed it all myself. And here's one called The Amazing Bud, which I call the pilot episode to Pleasant Life, because it was about basically 2 guys. They go to college, and one of them is this overweight Star Trek geek named Morton. So technically this would be his first appearance, 1995. And Bud here is basically Lucas. He became Lucas when I made Pleasant Life. Yeah. This is actually jumping the gun a bit, but this is a book I did a couple of years ago. Guy hired me to do some illustrations for a book based on his writings about him being a cop. He's a retired police officer, and he wanted some illustrations to go with his stories, so I did this, and this is my personal copy of the book. You can get that on Amazon, actually. This is the only one of these books here I think you can still get. So look for that. Go to Amazon and look up Craig Ellikin, A Cop's Tale. You can get that. These are a couple sketchbooks I did. Sold them at cons. Just basically collected a bunch of shit that I did. They're all black and white. I sold out of them, so there you go. Same thing here. Cheesecake, but this is all girls. This one's in color. Hey. Look at that. Yeah. Sexy. Right. This is Wise Intelligence Anthology. I think I did a short story in here. Get people like David LaFuente in there. Yeah, I did this short story here. We actually went on to do a mini-series together, which I don't have any copies of. They're all gone. Now these are Pleasant Hymns, the ashcan versions, which were all collected in a trade book, which will be recollected in another trade book, but you can get a look at them. That's the first issue. Second issue. That's the worst cover in the world. Third issue. Fourth issue. I published these all when I was in college. Fifth, sixth, and seventh issue. I'll skip 5 and 6. Let's move on to 7 to save some time here. Number 7, I'm finally kind of getting into the groove of doing some different stuff. Making stuff a little cartoony, getting a little better. Thickening my lines a bit. The Comic Amateur Press Alliance went on and became Grayscale, and then when I was in college, I was actually president of the group. And we put together this book, and this was the last thing that that group ever did. So I'm kind of proud of it, but we did some stuff here, and I did a quick story, which is right there. It's about a rock band, basically about Sid Barrett. My buddy Jay Files gets in there. My buddy Dean Stahl's in there. A bunch of my pals are in there. This is the first work I did for AP. The only thing I got in here is a pinup, which is right here. Colored by Tim Fisher. Very neat. This is the second issue of Atomic Adonis and Earth Girl that I did art for. I don't have a copy of the first one anymore. Long gone. This is a side project I did with somebody. This, people might know this one, Tales of Sequential Mayhem. I don't need to thumb through this. You guys know about this book. It's all famous and shit. Working on a Kickstarter to do the third right now. And Sarah Palin Rogue Warrior, I did a pinup in this. You can find that on the DeviantArt page. The last thing I got to show you is the actual receipt from Grimm Printing Company in Shepherd, Michigan for the first Pleasant Life. $300. Check it out. 2002. Wow. So there you go. So to end this off, let's look at a couple pages I did last night. First of all, this one. And then this page here, which I have to cover up some boobage here because it's part of the Star Slam adult stuff I do. So there you go. Have I learned anything in 20 years? You tell me. Thanks for watching, guys. There's more videos to come. We're celebrating 20 years this year. Join me.